You guys know each other, but we just do,
because I was there for that World Cup win.
Well, I watched you the first season on Road Rules.
Abby, we're going to bury that,
you
okay?
go way back. She knows a 30-pound heavier kid.
Did you recognize me?
I did. I was like, I think she was on like a reality, like one of the first reality shows before they like started to make like scripts around
Totally.
them.
There's a shot of me brushing my teeth with a Budweiser, and that's what gets a lot of press. But back to you, Abby. Forward. I like the title, first of all, your position, but what does that word mean to you? Because I think the book was going to be something totally different and then took a shift.
Well, I think the title actually stayed the same throughout the whole process of writing it. But for me, as a retired athlete now, it's always that big question, like, what am I going to do next, right? And then I was having all these struggles throughout the latter part of my career. And so Forward is like kind of the perfect thing, because I really do want to look forward and have a clearer mind and a happier heart moving forward towards like whatever it is I'm going after, which is like happiness, love, and that's basically it.
You know, that's what people love about you, Abby, is that you've always been so open and honest about whatever is going on with you. And in April, when you got your DUI in Portland, Oregon, you immediately owned up to that. And you said it was actually the best thing that ever happened to you, but it had to be hard to admit that.
Well, it was interesting because that night, and when I got out of jail and I was talking with my people, I was like, we have to put out a statement. And my statement was a little bit harsher, a little bit more critical of like my actions and how embarrassed I was. But the truth is that I was, and it kind of, that's been like the tone that I've set for myself in this process of recovery and healing from that moment. And telling the truth and telling the real story is, I think, something that's it's not very common nowadays with Hollywood and celebrities and athletes. People have to know that no matter what kind of pedestal all of us get put on by strangers out there, that we're still human, we still have feelings, we still suffer, and we mess up. And when we mess up, we have to own it.
Yeah.
Does all this come, though, sort of the pain and the setbacks and the drinking and the drugs, does it come from a love of a mom? Because you write in here talking about your mom, complicated relationship. If I play well, my mother might forgive me for being who I am. Is that at the underline of all this?
Yeah, and I think for me, the book is basically, it's like my mom and I's love story, right? And it's been an evolution. And I think some of the things that I write about in there, people can really relate to, whether they're going through sexuality issues at younger ages or, substance abuse stuff. I think there's so many things that people can relate to. And really, I'm just basically wanting my mother's love, and I want her to understand and respect my choices and whatnot. So the book is like a call to my mom, like, Mom, I love you, can you love me back, sort of thing.
And how has she responded?
She's been great,
Yeah.
and honestly, a lot of this stuff in terms of like my younger years, she's evolved and she's gotten through a lot of that, but I think it was really important for people to hear the real story, because it creates who I am, it's part of my character. And none of it I would take back. None of it I regret. None of it I feel bad about, because my mom and I, we have a great relationship now, and she's just the best.
What was it like coming out to your mom?
That was an interesting moment. That was, and this, we're talking 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like different or I guess it was like 15 years ago, is different than it is now, like where social acceptance is. And so now, I know 10-year-olds that wouldn't bat an eye about coming out to their parents. But at 22, I wanted to make sure, and this kind of set the tone for the rest of my life in terms of my sexuality and being out. I wanted to be unapologetic about it, because I never felt like I was wrong, because it's not.
Right.
Like, that's like the truth and the reality about it. So when I came out, it's hard. And for a person who grew up in a smaller town, brought up, we were all raised Catholic, and I have to respect her beliefs and her value system, which is a really interesting place that I've gotten to in my mindset. As much as I wanted her to respect me and see me and love me, I actually have to offer that same kind of love and respect back to her, regardless of what her actual mindset is on it.
Going back to the DUI moment and the day after, I mean, you basically said you got rid of all your pills, you immediately checked into rehab. How has it been for you to get clean and sober?
Well, I mean, it's an everyday process. They say you just have to focus on one day at a time. And I was so publicly shamed that, and I was embarrassed, right, that I didn't really beat myself up too much about the actual DUI. But what I was doing was, I knew that I had a bigger problem that I needed to deal with. So I entered in an individual recovery program, and I I completed that, and I feel really great about it. But it's a process. You know, I'm still so new in this. I'm not even 6 months out from this DUI, so I'm still learning, and I'm still talking to people, and I'm still educating myself on this thing. Because, you know, I even noticed when I released the book, gosh, am I gonna anger people that are in the substance abuse and addiction lane because I say the wrong thing or I do the wrong thing? But I don't think people talk about this when they're in it enough. You know, people wait a year or two while they have their life sorted out, and I'm just not that person. So I think that there might be more to learn, not only from my perspective, but I think people can learn from my process through this as well.